Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, it's Monday evening. What I left in the last video, I was prepping the cab for primer, and I'm pretty much done that now. And I'll show you that in a few minutes. But first, I just want to take a few minutes and talk about the economics of hot rodding. Uh, have you noticed lately? At least I have. If you're on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace or anything selling old cars, vintage stuff, the prices of stuff is super high, but it seems that almost 1 in 3 that are for sale are project vehicles. Um, I think what's happening is, these guys get into a project, they get the initial unit at a reasonable price, bring it home, tear it all apart and do their thing, and then they start buying parts and paint and primer and body filler and geez, they have a MIG welder, so they get some gas for it and some new wire and go buy a bunch of grinding discs and whatever. And the prices of stuff, like I said, I've been harping on this for a bit. A lot of cases have doubled, most cases actually, and in a lot of cases have actually tripled in price in the last 2 years. Like, it's crazy. Anything automotive just gone through the roof. So I think what's happened is a lot of these guys, good intentions, get going into a project, and then bam, they realize, man, this isn't gonna fly. I can't afford to do this. So they end up putting their project up for sale. Some guys just get into a project, and maybe they watch too many reality TV shows and realize they bit off more than they can chew and can't do the work anyhow. But I think most of it is a financial decision. I'm looking at what I've got going on here. Like a rear end, okay, 9-inch rear end. I mean, I've seen the empty cases, just the housing with nothing in it. Guys want $800 for it. You still got to buy the center section, the axles, the bearings, the seals, all that stuff. I mean, this one here, I made out of stuff that I had for the most part. I put new bearings, new seals, and brand new brakes. That's backing plates, drums, shoes, wheel cylinders, hardware, the whole bit. So there's $2,000 in that rear end right there, and I'm just talking parts and material, no labor. The drive shaft, $500 to get one made. That used to be able to get one done for a couple of $100. No, those days are gone. And this is fairly simple stuff. The Mustang 2 front end, I did buy the kit off of a guy who was brand new, hadn't been used yet, and I got a deal on it. But still, buying the ball joints, didn't have the spindles, got drilled and slotted disc brakes, all those kinds of things. Oh, it's $2,500. Rack and pinion with the steering knuckles and the steering shaft, and then the column and all of that. Well, another $1,500, $2,000 maybe. Just 2 flex lines for the front brakes. They're braided stainless steel. It's part of the unit that I bought. Didn't come with the unit, so there's another extra $100 on top. Figure interior, with carpet and paint, where the dash or whatever. Figure $5,000. Paint, well, paint is ridiculous. Primer is $400 a gallon. It's $400 for epoxy. So there's probably $1,000 worth of primer going on this thing. And then you got to buy the paint and the clear coat and the hardener, and it goes on and on and on. Reducers, $200 a gallon. So I think that's what's happening to the little guy. It's unfortunate because it's kind of killing the sport, so to speak. You know, not everybody can afford to have four-wheel independent suspension and bare brakes and six-speed transmissions and LS engines, or you know, exotic induction systems and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's easy to spend 3-4 grand on a set of tires, wheels and tires. Easy. Yeah, then you know, you got to get into chrome and you know, a new grill this thing's going to need, a tailgate, body panels. This one here got a donor cab. I mean, you can save a lot of money if you start off with something in pretty decent shape, I think. But like I say, you know, it's easy to be 20 grand into something, not including labor, and still have a ways to go. You know, I still got some glass. I got all the rubbers. Those aren't cheap. Gauges. Like I said, the grill. You know, you're not going to put the pitted old door handles back on this thing. It's going to be brand new. So, yeah, it's an expensive game. And I think hot rodding needs to get back to its roots, which was guys going out, scrounging out whatever they could find, do it as cheaply as they could, and make things happen, make things work. I do a fair amount of that myself, but I think that's what it's going to have to go back to, out of necessity, because you just can't. It's just not affordable for a lot of guys. And I'd hate like hell to see the hobby, you know, die out because people can't afford it, and the only things you're going to see are these high-end shops. You know, are you going to go out and buy a Dave Kindig car? I mean, what's he want for those things? 200-300 grand? I don't know. I'm sure it costs that much to build it. So I don't know what the answer is, but I think scrounging around to see what you can find is probably the way to go. It means putting on some miles, you know, do some picking, and see what you can find, and hopefully you can save a few bucks. But man, it's getting scary out there, and you know, if you're into a project, good luck. I hope you set your budget correct, because you might be in for a shock. And once you get the, you know, the nagging going, next thing you know, it's on the block, and you put it up for sale. So anyway, got plenty to do. I'm getting the cab, like I said, ready for primer. I want to shoot the cab, all 4 fenders and the hood and primer. So get that done, and then we'll see what I have time for after that. So let's get to it. Okay, so I spent several hours wet sanding the whole cab, all the epoxy, all the black, roof all over. So it's pretty much ready to go. Just got to wash it all down with wax and grease remover. I did have one touch up right here. If you remember back, a bunch of videos ago, it was this thing was schmucked pretty good right where the belt line and the back of the cab meet. I pulled out a lot with the with my Stinger, but there was still a bit of a wow in it, so it needed a little bit of filler. So I had to go over that, I don't know, 3-4 times, thin coats, bring it out a little bit. So it's good now, feels all right. So like I say, I'll wash it down with wax and grease remover, and you know, clean it all up really well. And I still, you know, I did clean up the bottom of the cab, the floor, but I'm going to lay new paper down on it because I don't want to get gray overspray all over it. I think I'm going to end up having to repaint the floor anyway. It looks like the paint did burn up a little bit in a few spots, so yeah, maybe I won't even bother masking it. I'll just give it another coat of paint after. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So you know, I'll set up when I'm ready to start spraying and show a little bit of that. And we're going to get these 3 suckers and the other one at the front. We get that primed as well, and the hood as well. So once I get this done, I can move it over to the side and make myself some room here to set up for the other pieces. So that's where I'm at, and like I say, I'll come back when I'm set up and ready to go. Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie to you, it probably took me a lot longer to clean up than it's going to spray. I've been blowing dust and shit out of here for half a day. So, but it had to be done. I'm gonna turn the fans on and mixed up primer already. I'll get it in the gun and we'll start shooting. So, yeah, I'll get a better camera angle on it. There we go. Gotta wear the mask. Okay, so that's one coat. I'm gonna run around and do that all over again, but I think I'll go to the time lapse for the rest of it. So there you go. Okay, as you can see, I didn't bother with the time lapse. I saw how shitty the lighting was from that camera angle, and quite frankly, I don't have any other spot to put the camera right now. Too much junk in here. So yeah, I just finished this, 3 coats. Everything's pretty good, except for I've got one little shady spot on the door here, little wrinkle, so I have to fix that. And I did a horrible job of sanding down here, and I don't know what the hell, but it's going to take a bunch of block sanding to get that fixed up. Firewall's good. Yeah, like I said, you know, this door here is just mint. It's perfect. So yeah, overall pretty happy. So I'm going to go ahead, spray the fenders, get all that done, and I'll come back after when I'm done. Okay, so yeah, these things straightened out. They're about 300%, if not more, better than they were before I block sanded them the first time. So these are really close to being done. They're in nice shape. So yeah, super pleased with that. And the rear fenders, they're all right. You know, there's a couple of minor touch-ups, but we haven't block sanded them at all yet. So pretty good shape there as well. So all 4 fenders are close. So yeah, quite pleased. There. So I have got a ton of block sanding to do now. All 4 fenders and the cab complete. I didn't get to the hood today. There's too many things that are all over the place. I don't have the working room, so I need to finish up some stuff and get it out of my way. Maybe put the fenders done, you know, paint ready, put them upstairs, get them out of my way. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way the front fenders came out after just 1 block sand. I mean, they were pretty funky looking the first time I sprayed them, but they're really straightening out nicely. So should make quick work of block sanding them the second time. It gets easier and quicker each step. So yeah, I'm definitely going to need another gallon of primer. I've only got about a third of a gallon left. So yeah, there's another $400. So when I'm talking money too, you got to remember, I'm in Canada, Northern Ontario, and you know, we don't have the things that a lot of stuff that my American friends have or have access to. You know, we don't have any old junkyards anymore. They're government made them all, clean them up and get everything crushed and gone. So you know, the junkyards now have stuff that's maybe 4 or 5 year old, 6 year old cars, maybe up to 10, 12 years, but that's it. So all the old stuff, it's been crushed and gone, long gone. And of course, you know, with winter, we have a very short swap meet season. So, and there's none around here, you know. Usually I've got to drive 3-4 hours to get to a swap meet and, you know, end up camping there or whatever. What else? You know, chrome. There's only 1 chrome shop in the province that I know of. And sometimes it's as much as a year waiting list to get something chromed. So you know, you American guys, you got it pretty lucky. So we end up buying most of our stuff from the U.S. and you got to factor in the exchange in the dollar. You know, so we're paying 30-35 cents a dollar extra on everything, and then we got to ship it here, which is another outrageous fee. So yeah, we're getting it from every angle. So you know, I said, you guys down there, you might be able to build something a lot cheaper than we can up here, but that's the way it is. Anyway, new subscribers, thank you very much. You know, if you have subscribed, tell a buddy, and if you haven't, please subscribe. And you know, I've got 75 videos on this truck, so if you're into these trucks, there's all kinds of stuff there. Covered this thing from start to finish, and yeah, so check it out. And you know, if you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.